Hi guys, key performance indicators. What are they and how are they developed? Welcome to Monitoring and Evaluation Made Simple. I am your host, Coach Alexander. For those of you who are here for the very first time, this channel provides information on monitoring and evaluation to everyone in the world. And most of all, content on YouTube is absolutely free. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so that you can get all the latest updates in monitoring and evaluation. This is a very short video, and for obvious reasons, I want to keep it short and less boring for everyone. So let's get right into it. What are key performance indicators? Key performance indicators are variables that give you a means to measure whether your goals or objectives are actually being achieved. For example, imagine you set yourself a goal. You tell yourself that by 2025, you want to be earning a monthly salary of $5,000 every month. So the question is, what is your indicator? Well, to measure whether you are achieving your goal of $5,000 every month, the variable you will use is called monthly net income. So, what you will be tracking each and every month will be your monthly net income, because that is a variable that once you monitor every month, you'll be able to see whether you have achieved your goal or not. Why are key performance indicators important? Well, they help you track whether you are indeed achieving your goals or objectives. Without having key performance indicators, you would never know how well you are actually doing in life, in your business, or in your project. How are key performance indicators developed? They are simply developed using the theory of change. So that's all the time I had for today as regards the key performance indicators. Just in case you want to learn about key performance indicators further, I have videos on my channel that teach you about key performance indicators. Also, if you want to enrich yourself further on key performance indicators, do not hesitate to join the over 170 students who have enrolled in my course, which I have on Udemy. Click the link below to access the rich 2-hour course on key performance indicators. Now, before I leave, I just want to talk briefly about what is happening around the world, the coronavirus. You know, guys, I want to let you know that this thing is real. Please ensure to protect yourselves 100% of the time. Avoid movements, things are not normal. You watch BBC, CNN. So I would also like you to just, if you're totally new, I don't think you're new to the coronavirus situation, but in case you don't have all the details, you can still click on some of the videos that I've posted on the coronavirus. But just to tell you and sum it up, why have we failed in this world to limit the spread of this virus globally? Why didn't it just remain in China? Well, the truth is, guys, the monitoring surveillance system was quite weak, okay, and that has costed us dearly. Very soon, if you subscribe to this channel, I'm going to release a long video discussing this issue at a bigger, in-depth level, so that you get to understand what is actually, what are the weaknesses, because we are in the 21st century and we shouldn't have to experience these problems at this bigger magnitude. So something must have gone wrong, something needs to be corrected, and that is my job. That is your job as M&D specialist. If you're a specialist, or if you want to become a monitoring and evaluation specialist, that is your job. You need to monitor. You need to see to it that if there are problems, how do we correct those problems? Well, until we meet again, I've been your host, Coach Alexander. See you on the other side. Bye. Good day, folks, and welcome to this YouTube channel.
M&E made simple. This channel is explicitly designed to take care of your M&E needs, but in a simple way. I'm your host, Coach Alexander, and today we're going to be looking at what are KPI targets. Now, I got some images here. I downloaded them from Google. Google is my best friend, and it's the same with other people out there. So I think I'll just open this in the preview so that we can get to understand these images clearly, because that's where I'll focus my presentation, and we do it like that. So you'll realize, folks, that KPI simply means key performance indicators. In every project or program around the world that is being implemented, it could be projects that are there to reduce poverty, that are there to improve health. You discover that key performance indicators are very important because they help gauge whether you are moving towards your goals. So this image here has a lot of insight of what KPI or key performance indicators are. You can already see that when you hear the word KPI, it means performance, it means measuring progress, it's an indicator, it's used in business, it's also used to do analysis. There are so many things attached to key performance indicators. Now, in M&D practice, you discover that it's always important, always, this is just a must-have. Every program and project must have a log frame. Now, in the log frame, you discover that there will be the objectives of the project listed down here. But what is of key, because you may have objectives, you may have project purpose, results, activities, and so forth. But what is key is this as well, the objectively verifiable indicators. Other people say objective verifiable indicators, others just mention indicators, others say key performance indicators. So this is where the key performance indicators are usually put, and you discover that it is through knowing these key performance indicators that you'll be able to measure change over a specific period of time. Okay, so when it comes to, let's say you have a program that is there to reduce poverty in a certain community, what indicator would you choose? Well, perhaps you might formulate an indicator such as percentage of people in a community living below $1 a day as a means to measure levels of poverty. But imagine you set up a program or project that is designed to make sure that in that community, if there were 30% of community members living on less than $1 a day, your target would be to improve, to reduce that 30% to maybe 5%. Okay, so what you're doing is that you're setting a target, you're setting a goal. So here is what targeting is all about. Okay, and targeting is very much related to goal setting, because when you make a target, you're simply saying you have a goal that you want to achieve. Now, of course, I'm sure you've seen this goal setting, targeting, and key performance indicators. They need to be specific. When you're saying that you want to reduce poverty, you need to attach specifically what it is you want to reduce in that community. Yes, it's poverty, but by what percentage? And then it needs to be measurable. It needs to be attainable. And this is where some programs or projects get it wrong. They don't really know whether what they've set as a target can be attained or achieved within a short period of time. Let me give you an example. Imagine you had a program which says that you want to this is just a crazy example. You want every child in a community to have free education from from baby class up to university. Is that attainable? Well, in most cases it may, but in most cases actually it may not, because resources need to be attached. You have to understand how much resources you have to such a project or such an intervention, what are the policies, and so forth and so on. Okay, it needs to be relevant, it needs to be time bound. Okay, so here is just another image I wanted you to see. You see, in every project and program, there are activities, and those activities will translate to the outputs, which will eventually lead to the goal. So when you have key performance indicators in a program or project, your goal will be, perhaps, let's say we go back to the poverty example. Let's say you have an indicator percentage of people living below or less than $1 a day in a certain community. If the percentage of people living in that community is 30% who are living on less than $1 a day, your goal, your ultimate goal, will be to reduce that 30% to maybe 5%. So that becomes your target. Now, why is targeting important when it comes to programming people? Why is targeting important? Well, because it shows commitment. Imagine if you were running down the street, and each time you jog maybe down the street, it takes you 10 minutes to reach your destination. If you want to be the best runner, you'll be setting, it will only come naturally that you'd want to do better than those 10 minutes. So you set a target, right? You say, okay, if I'm doing 10 minutes jogging from point A to point B, why can't I do it in 5 so that I can be better? And it goes the same with business. In business, people are always looking to improve their profit margins. So you find that maybe in year one, a business was able to generate $1 million. But really, looking at the increasing costs, increasing opportunities out there, businesses will set targets that maybe they can improve that $1 million to $5 million. So targeting, even in programming, even in projects, is very important. And then if you're not achieving your target, it gives you an indication of where are you going wrong. So in M&E, when we collect data, when we collect information, our main aim should be to see whether this data, compared to the target, are we achieving our targets? If we're not achieving, why aren't we achieving it? Where are we going wrong? If we are overachieving, then could it mean that our targeting wasn't done properly? Or could we have done better? So targeting really, folks, is very important. So I won't say much about this topic, but I would love you to keep checking on this channel, because we'll go in detail in future on how to set targets, because a lot of times people just set targets in the blues, but there are procedures that need to be followed. Okay, so I've been your host, Coach Alexander, and I thank you for joining me in this short presentation. What are KPI targets? Please subscribe to this channel, and see you on the other side. day, folks, and welcome to the YouTube channel M&E Made Simple. This channel is explicitly designed to cater for all your monitoring and evaluation needs. I'm your host, Coach Alexander, and I'll be walking you through a wonderful topic entitled the importance of indicators in monitoring and evaluation. Now, to start with, what exactly is an indicator? Well, imagine you were doing an activity which was dear to your heart. Take, for instance, you decided to plant tomatoes in your backyard with the aim of realizing a great profit margin in the long run. Now, the question is, how will you know whether you have done a very good job, a very good success in your tomato field? How would you know? The best way to know whether you have done well in your tomato field is by knowing how much you've produced. Production is an indicator. It is by means of knowing the production can you be able to know whether you have done well that season or whether you've done poorly. So in a nutshell, an indicator is a means to measure change. That change can either be good or that change can either be bad. It can go either way. Now, today's discussion, we want to focus on why are indicators important in monitoring and evaluation. I won't waste any more time. I'll go to my best friend, Google, because you know that Google is the king of search, And besides, you've seen me using it for quite some time now, and I enjoy every bit of it. So let's go to Google right now. Let's make life easier, and I'm going to type, there's Google, I'm going to type there, what is the importance of indicators in monitoring and evaluation? Okay, so let's try and find out what the importance of indicators in monitoring and evaluation is. So let's see if there's something there. Okay, there's nothing there, just it gives us challenges, considerations, how are indicators, process versus whatever. Let's see. Okay, seems there's nothing on this page. Basically, I'll just look for something that's clearly set out. Okay, nothing there. Seems like Google is failing us this time around. Okay, let me continue searching. There seems to be nothing. Okay, that isn't a bad thing because I have the importance of indicators right in my head right now. So just pay attention. I'll just mention this. Indicators, to start with, are very important because they help measure change. You see, once you're running these programs or projects, when you have an indicator, you are best able to know the performance of your program. And these indicators give you direction. If you are able to use these indicators to measure change, you'll be able to know whether you're succeeding or whether you're going backwards. The second importance of indicators, dear friends, is that they give you the basis to set targets. In case you don't know what targets are, let's say you're working for a multi-million company, maybe you're a software designer. Your target could be, in the next 5 years, you want to own your own software company. You don't want to be employed anymore. Or another target could be, in the next 5 years, you want to drive the latest vehicle. Those are targets. So in every project or program, targets are set, but these targets are set against the indicators that you've made. And the third importance of indicators is that they give a measure of accountability. You know, these programs and projects are financed by a lot of stakeholders. Could be governments, could be developmental agencies. These parties want to see results, want to see the impact of their resources. So when you have the indicators, you are able to show to them the results that have been achieved. Now let's look at just a few examples of indicators that are out there. I'm sure Google will give us examples of indicators. Google, don't fail us now, please. Please, Google, don't fail us on this one. Let me say in M&D. Okay. 7 indicators, selecting project indicators. Which one should we go for? Okay, let's go for this one. Well, it's a slide share, so which means I'll have to be sliding through. This is done by Tony, project manager and CEO. So let's see what Tony has for us. Okay. Not really the example I'm looking for. Oh, okay, let's go to something. Let's do something better. Don't want to waste much of your time. Okay, the following are examples of impact indicators. Okay, we might get something there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here they've given us examples of indicators. Okay, so let's take, for instance, output indicators. Anyway, I forgot to mention that there are different types of indicators. There are output indicators, there are outcome indicators, there are input indicators, there are process indicators. Now, when it comes to output indicators, this I'm suspecting, or maybe we could get something here, but it's a program to deal with health. So an example of an output indicator here is percentage of children between 0 to 6 months exclusively breastfed, percentage of infants that were breastfed within 1 hour after delivery. Yeah, so these are kind of the examples of indicators when it comes to health. But when it comes to agriculture, for instance, you might find that maybe an indicator would say production of a certain crop, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so really, when setting indicators, there are processes that are involved, there are steps that need to be done to come up with indicators. And also, indicators are usually set by stakeholders who are going to run the program. So this is a planning exercise. Anyway, that's all I had for you this day. I've been your host, Coach Alexander, and see you on the other side.